Okay, so I promised you 10 a.m., 2 p.m. or 10 p.m. But as I missed both the 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. slots, I didn't want to wait until 10 o'clock tonight to go live and post this. So instead of throwing myself over the internet, I thought I would come today, specifically right now, at the time of streaming at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. UK time, to talk about something close to my heart and to actually deliver this live stream as a live stream specifically to you here, to you live on this page, which is Facebook, my Facebook page, which is Jenny Kovacs, the Queen of Being Seen. You can find it easily if you are watching this back on YouTube by just typing in at Visibility Vibe without the S on Facebook, and my page will appear. Do follow or do like, so that you can hear some of the other topics that I cover as I go through the rest of the year. So today, I wanted to talk about visibility, like why it's important, why it matters, and share 5 maybe surprising things or surprising reasons for you to be visible as a business owner. So whether you're a CEO owning business owner, whether you are a founder, whether you're a consultant, a freelancer, maybe you are a coaching business, maybe you have a speaking business, maybe you combine a couple of things. So just to say, if you are someone who's watching this and you're thinking to yourself, but I don't have a business, I actually work for somebody, I'm an employee, hop over to LinkedIn where I have streamed live there to talk about 5 surprising things about visibility that you might need as somebody who is employed as opposed to self-employed. And if you're doing both, watch both. Let's see. So, a few weeks ago, I was given a little present, and the little present was this tiny little tin. And this tiny little tin had a lid on it. And when I opened it, it had instructions inside to water it, not to oversaturate it, but to water it so it was nice and moist inside, put the seeds in, leave it by somewhere nice and sunny, and watch it grow. So you might be thinking, hey ho, Jenny, so why? What's so important about that? Well, at the time, I didn't know what the seeds were for. I didn't know what was going to grow, but I did know that in order for anything to grow, it needs light, it needs water, and it needs a little bit of tender loving care. And the reason that I share this right at the beginning of this live stream is that's not too dissimilar to visibility itself. Now, many people get stuck into the sales element of their business, the marketing element of their business. It might even be the customer journey of their business. It might be their website. It might be being on social media. It might be being online. It might be being offline. And they get stuck into all of that. And all of those things are important too. Don't get me wrong there. But it was, as I was reflecting on these plants, and I'll tell you what they turned out to be in the end, which was a delight to me. But as I was reflecting on the story of this plant and that journey of planting something without knowing, it really, I guess it sprung up to me to that visibility, the work I do, I often say it's like the glue between our sales and marketing. And the thing is, if you know how to be visible, you know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and how to do it for you and your business, your audience, and the type of business that you have, then it's a little bit like, as long as you know how to water something and nurture something and make sure that it grows, it kind of doesn't matter what it is you're growing. So I feel a lot about that over the years, and we're now kind of up to 15 years of this business being around. Over the years, I have applied my visibility source, my visibility framework with lots of different types of businesses. Some have been product-based businesses, so they've sold things like fashion, retail. They've been a retail-based business. They've one of them was a natural skincare product business. They've done all sorts of things, high-end bridal wear, all sorts of different things that people have sold over the years. And then we have your service-based businesses. And I always speak a little bit more about those, because with service-based businesses, they're selling you something, or you're selling something that can't be seen. You can't show somebody a coaching package. You can show them what's in it. You can't let them know what the transformation will truly do for them. You can point to it. You can't always pick something up and show it to them. It's deemed to be less tangible. And I actually think that when you get the art of having your services out there and the art of how to make them more visible, it transforms lives in ways that have a positive ripple effect, in ways that can't even be described. So knowing to how to apply visibility to different people's businesses. I work with corporates, I work with individuals, I work with teams, I work with so many other different types of people that do things. I find it exciting, and I've yet to find something that visibility doesn't work for. So as usual, my lovely where have I lost you? I've lost you all. Oh, I think I lost you all then. Somebody sent me a message. I tried to swipe it out of the way, and then before I knew that, I think I ended our live stream, but hopefully we're back. So, without further ado, today I really wanted to talk to you about visibility and 5 really key things that I think are imperative to know as a business owner, whether you have a business with 10 staff, whether you have a business with some of the people that I work with, hundreds of people, thousands of people, whether it's just you within the business or whether you're a business that's kind of spinning plates, so you work and you run a business too. So, thing number 1 that's really important, people often get it twisted about what visibility is and isn't. And whilst visibility is your ability to be out there, your ability to have your work seen, your ability to be heard in a way that feels not only authentic to your audience, but is actually authentic from you, this is really important. But the thing that most people actually stumble across is the consistency side of things. They start up fired up, a bit like willpower, fired up, and then something diminishes or drains, or something happens in their business and it knocks them for 6. Something happens in their life and they're not sure how to navigate it, not sure how to speak about it. And all of these different reasons, which I've heard hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands now over the years, of what stops people from wanting to be visible. So it's really important to have some sort of plan. And some people balk, strategy. Some people really dive into spreadsheets and pivot tables and charts. But actually, your plan and your strategy can be exactly what you need for you. Really, really important. So have a look and take time in your business to be visible. Now, it's funny because I always say it's like cutting your own hair. You can cut it really well. And, many of the people that I work with in business, they're smart, they're savvy, they're switched on, they're clued up. And then it comes to doing their own thing and it's harder to see, which is why I love it when people want to work with me and I want to work with them, because we can kind of cut through all of that as well. So thing number two is often people don't think about the impact that they truly make, or they think about it in a very closed way. They think that they maybe aren't making an impact because they haven't got a big audience yet. They think they might not be making a big impact because they haven't made their millions yet. They think they might not be having or making a big impact because they're looking to grow the business and they almost feel stuck, that they kind of have hit a ceiling of some sort. And for some of them, they sometimes think that they're not making the impact they would like to because their dreams and their plans are so huge and so big. And it's like they don't feel that it's physically manifested, physically come about. So they feel like there's so much more to do. And I would say with that, don't judge yourself as one being better than the other, one being great, one being good, one being bad. Just look at where you want to be. And by the way, for those of you who are fiercely ambitious, continue that ambitious, because when I work with people like you, I very quickly see that that's your drive for you to go on and do even more exponential things too. So harness that energy, harness that impact, but at least have an idea of where you want that impact to go, whether you think you can achieve it by yourself or not. Still have that vision, hold that vision. And one of the things that I do in one of my online kind of group programs is we have a head office day. I know it's not a very sexy name, but essentially we either review the month or the quarter, and in some cases the year, depending on where we are on the year. The choice is really up to you, but by having that review, we can look at what's worked and then look at what we want to do moving forward. And the highly ambitious are doing this literally all the time, sometimes even in their head too. So, third thing is all about how we speak about the work we do. Now, with things like visibility and personal branding being bandied about everywhere, you'd be forgiven for thinking that it's about how you show up, and specifically about you. It could be a lot of people tell me it's about how they look. A lot of people say, oh no, it's more about how I sound. Some people say it's about my messaging. Other people have different stories. But one of the stories that I often look out and want to really learn and hear about is the kind of impact that you make, not just from you as the personality, but also the work that you do too. Now, this feels important to me, and it feels important to me because without your people understanding why you do what you do, sometimes when life happens and things throw you off balance and off course, it makes it hard for you to kind of hold on and keep on your mission too. I see that in a lot of business owners, regardless of where they are in their business. So having some form of way of being emotionally intelligent and being able to share the story of you, your business, or the thing you do is what's mega important. So talking about the sharing of that and how you are and how you do it, it brings me to the next point. Your energy, your vibe. The vibe is a word that's used widely now, but I remember when I first got started and I was talking about visibility vibes, people loved it because it was a rarer thing to hear. But here's what I want to say about this: the more of who you are and the more of how you can show that and demonstrate that through your work in the world is important. There is a fine line between it all being about you, and being about your clients too. So knowing what's important to them, knowing how you want to reach out to them, actually affects how effective your visibility is for them. So, for example, I know that a majority of people that I work with, whether they are self-employed, whether they are employees, whether they are senior, whether they're junior and getting started, things boil down to a handful of things when it comes to visibility. Thing number one, they're not always sure how consistent to be. They see other people, like they might see me that goes live or shares a video every single day for now going into the second year. Or they might and think they should have to do that too. Or they might think, oh, well, I have to be on TikTok, or I have to be on this sort of channel, or I have to do stuff online, or I have to have my hair and makeup done when I go live. And these are all things that we buy into for whatever reason, which is why I always say visibility is an inside job. So, in the fourth pillar of the stuff that I teach in the Visibility Vibes framework, the inside job stuff is stuff that allows you to know even more of who you are. And it's so interesting because I'll ask people a question and they'll tell me the answer with a bit of a hesitation. And I'm not sure, I don't know. Do you think that's great? I just listen to the words and I give them back to them. And then they're like, yes. So why do I do that? Why is it important? When you're able to share more of who you are, the world literally opens up even more to you. And our ability to be able to do that in a way that feels great and in a way that feels confident is really important. And ways that people get stuck, they'll say things like, I don't mind sharing online, but there's no way I'm going to share on LinkedIn. Or don't mind sharing online and doing video, but there's no way I'm going to do it on my personal Facebook page, for example. Or don't mind putting stuff out there online, but I don't want people to know it's from me, and there are a gazillion other ways too. So showing up authentically is important. And then the fifth piece is around speaking out. And I often say it's about speaking out authentically. And yes, I've got a program of the same name. But the reason why this becomes important is sometimes as business owners, we think that when we speak out, we have to sound like a public speaker, even though it's not something we want to do. Or we think that when we share our products and services, we have to have a pitch perfect presentation. Otherwise, we're useless and we're rubbish. When actually, not only do we need to be great at selling our products and services, but we also need to have a knack to selling ourselves too. Not pushing, not forcing, not having people buy into you, whether they like it or not, but just understanding that they're right for you, you're right for them, and having it be kind of mutually, beneficial. And this is even if you're selling a product that's going to go out to thousands and thousands of people. And it's interesting because at the start of the journey, people are so focused, they've got no audience, no products or services. They're so focused on getting it right. They pay a lot of attention and look to getting this right. In the middle, sometimes that's where complacency can creep in, where we rest on our laurels, or we think, well, you know what, this worked last time, I'm just going to keep doing it. But surprisingly, the area where this hits the most is when people have built a big following, when they have built a lot of income over the years with their business, and when they have got products and programs that have become known, and how they grow that. That's one of the hardest things to do from a visibility perspective, because you're almost in a, yeah, I'm okay, I know. And this is when sometimes people can kind of almost seemingly overtake you, and you'll be scratching your head thinking, well, how did that happen and why? So that's what I'm going to speak about for today. Couple of things that you need to know if you want to have a look into your own visibility and how you can take it further. Thing number one, the High Impact Visibility Club is open. And I'm forgetting to tell people about it, but it's still very beneficial. You can actually join it at the moment for £9 a month, which is like $11, like £9 a month. This is specifically designed to help you keep consistent, help you to keep visible, but also to do it in a fun way. And one of the things that I do, the minute people come in, is I ask them to fill out their bio. And why do I do that? I get asked a lot to speak, and I don't actually say yes to it all. I get invited to podcasts, I get invited to interviews, and sometimes I am not the best person to be able to, to talk about that topic. Often I can, but I know I'm not the best person. The more I know about you and what you do, the more I can recommend you. So I ask people to fill that out, and some people haven't, and that's okay. But I ask people to fill that out first so that I can recommend them. And I've done this for years, but it's a lot easier when I know. So like when the BBC call me and say, can you do a segment on X thing? Then I can say, I could do, but I actually know someone who's a better fit for you, and know because I've got some stuff about them in front of me. This is just like a one-page thing, by the way. It's less than a couple of hundred words, and some contact information that can be sent out. It's not for my marketing purposes at all. So that's just one of the things we share in there. And for those of you that think, but I don't know what to share, I always have things shared in a visibility way that brings together the sales and marketing of what you do. So every month you have a prompt for every single day. You don't have to do it every single day, but there's a prompt for every single day, so that you can put your work out there in the world and let people know more about you and what you do. And that's just a couple of things. There's a lot more in there and a lot more that's going to be planned. So if that's something that is of interest to you, you can either go at £9 a month or go for a whole year at 90 quid. Like, you really can't get anything like that for that kind of money. And that's a way for you to start getting yourself out there even more from wherever you are. The other thing that I'm going to be talking about a bit later on at the end of September is Iconic. So if you are watching this video on the Facebook page, you'll see at the banner at the top, Iconic will come back again. It will tell you all the things we're going to cover, but think of this as a group VIP experience. There'll be a small group of you. I've already run this earlier this year, and take you through how to create iconic offers, how to create iconic content, the sort of thing that have you seen and plucked and picked, and also the sorts of things I've shared when I've been on places like the BBC or have been in big rooms or big conferences, or sharing my higher ticket stuff as well. So that's something that you might be interested in too. And then the other thing that starts at the beginning of September is the next round of Confidence on Camera. So if you have been in Confidence on Camera already, and you want to go again, you get lifetime access now. If you joined after September 2023 last year, you get lifetime access to join and play anytime that you wish to. But if you haven't yet been and experienced Confidence on Camera, you get 12 days of definite consistency, because every day you get something to speak about. And on the back of that, you get a little tip as well. So it actually increases your, not just confidence, but your credibility on camera too, which means that you are taken more seriously, you are heard, and it's all done with literally no tech. As long as you've got a mouth, a smartphone, or some people go from their tablets or computer, and your arm or stand. That's it. So I'd love to see you on there. If you'd like to know a bit more about any of these, you can either type the word iconic, type the word camera, or type the word impact. And if you're watching this on a replay, why not type vibes? I'd love to hear from you and see what resonated most with you on this video. On this bank holiday Monday at the time of shooting, thank you so much. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. This is day 90 of 365 days. Can you believe it? Flying by already. Bye for now.